यदा शिखा मयूराणाम नागानाम मणियो तथा यत्तत् वेदांग शास्त्राणाम गणितम मूर्धन स्थितम. Like the crest of a peacock, like the gem on the head of snake, so is the mathematics at the head of all knowledge. Good afternoon and Jai Hind to one and all present here. Indeed, the mathematics has a high value in the society, as it makes our life orderly and prevent chaos. It nurtures few qualities like power of reasoning and critical thinking. On the other hand, in Gallup poll conducted in 2005, asking students to name the subject which they considered most dull and difficult, mathematics came out on the top of the difficulty chart. Yes, mathematics has some inherent difficulties due to its abstract and cumulative nature. The student may not be able to learn new things without previous knowledge. It has also been felt that the way we teachers deal with the subject, it makes the student feel that maths is dull and difficult. Joyful mathematics is a step taken to remove such delusion and motivate students to learn math joyfully. Before I start proceeding, I would like to ask Chitra ma'am to post the link of Padlet in the chat box to do some exercise wherein all the teachers present here would introduce themselves mathematically. Chitra ma'am, please paste the link in the chat box.
Teachers, I have shared the link in the chat box. Please click on the link and introduce yourselves using mathematics.
We'll see the responses at the end of our session. One of the most difficult challenges for maths teacher is to cater the need of students capable of diverse learning. They have different learning style. I would like to invite Medha ma'am to explain in brief how the theory of multiple intelligence works in this context. Over to Medha ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind to everyone. As Howard Gardner rightly quotes, anything that is worth teaching can be presented in many different ways. These multiple ways can make use of our multiple intelligence, which we firmly believe and try to follow it in our teachings. Multiple intelligence are divided on the basis of learning styles. They are verbal, visual, logical, physical, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic intelligence. It gives a different satisfaction when we are aware of our students' learning style, with the help of which we can reach the last child also. I would like to share a few learning strategies for teaching fraction to the students, keeping in mind their various learning style. So let's see fraction in all intelligence. In verbal intelligence, we use words rather than numbers for better understanding. Students enjoy play on words. They easily understand word problem. To teach fraction, we can use fraction number line, sticky notes, newspaper. Hang up a paper number line in the classroom, divide it up into 4 equal sections. Each line will be given as 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4. Students can be asked to read through newspaper articles and circle all the fraction that they find. On sticky notes, they will write down the individual sentences that contain the fraction and let the child go to the fraction number line and decide where that sticky note should hang by looking at the fraction in the sentence. For visual learners, these students have the ability to perceive, analyze, understand visual information in the world around them. Essentially, they can picture concept with their mind's eyes. Great visual learning activity for reinforcing fraction skill we can create using everyday object around us. Choose some common items that we have several of each, like different types of dry beans, different colors of button, Using such things, we can explain different concepts of fractions. For logical intelligence students, such students have the ability to analyze situation or problem logically, to identify solutions, to conduct scientific research, and to solve logical and mathematical operations easily. Such students enjoy to solve logical puzzles. Next slide, ma'am. Like, ma'am, previous slide. Like, complete the grid so that each row, each column, and each 2x3 box contain one of each picture. Or we can ask the students to reveal the hidden identities, like, my numerator is between 7 and 12. My denominator is less than 12 and is a multiple of 3. I'm greater than 2/3. What is my name? Teachers, even you can try for this. Students can be motivated to solve different Sudoku related with different basic concept of a fraction. For kinesthetic learner, these students have the ability to process information physically through hand and body movements, control and expression. Hand-hold activity can be used to learn basic operation of a fractions. Sports like badminton or basketball can also be used very effectively to teach fraction. Chitra ma'am, next slide. This we were talking about the handful activity and the sports like badminton and the basketball, which can be used to explain the different types of fraction concept. Ma'am, next slide. Musical intelligence, which refers to the skill in the performance, composition, and appreciation of musical patterns. Fraction can be taught through this learning style too. It's natural. Music and fraction go together. Just start hammering out those quarter notes and half notes. Students can be asked what they have learned in the music class about 8 notes, quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes to create a rhythmic beat. Students can use either the sticks or bells to play their rhythmic beats and create many different beats. Next slide, ma'am. Interpersonal. Such students have the ability of a person to relate well with the people and manage relationships. Different activities like SLC and PBL are great example of this. And children enjoyed doing this. Fraction can be taught also very nicely with this. Students in a group can be asked to look through cookbooks for a recipe to make which contain many fractional measurements. Students will bring necessary things, but students can only use the container with no measurement on it. They will be given a jar which labeled with a few numbers. Students need to figure out that by folding the paper cut to the height of the jar, they will be able to measure things of cooking accurately. Next slide, ma'am. Intrapersonal. Students of this learning style tends to enjoy self-reflection and analysis. Such students enjoy activities like maths talk and reflection quotient, which gives them food for thought. And the last is naturalistic intelligence. Naturalistic intelligence is the ability to identify, classify, and manipulate elements of the environment, objects, animals, or plant. They care about the environment and like to be in touch with nature. Such students can be taught fraction by taking them in a garden or zoo, or even in the class, also by making the collage work of different flowers or animals in the fraction. So in this way, any one topic can be taken in all the different intelligence, so that which can cater the needs of all the students and can make maths as a joyful subject. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. It has been observed that traditional methods of teaching is no more effective. Joe Bola, an eminent mathematics professor from UK, has given us 6-point theorem to deal with how to teach mathematics for a growth mindset and how equity is promoted in classroom. Now I am going to invite Bharti ma'am and Sujata ma'am to brief the Joe Bowler concept.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind, everyone. Do you remember watching your math teacher solve a problem on the blackboard and then diligently trying to copy her technique to solve the other problems on your worksheet? That's the way many of us learn math. The problem is we absorbed some counterproductive messages in the process. As it turns out, there is not always one best way to solve a given problem. So to avoid such discrepancy and create new positive norms in math class, Dr. Bowler came up with following 6 elements. The only purpose of applying these 6 elements in a math class as dictated by a respective HOD is to make a math class comfortable and learning math at its easiest level, encouraging our learners to be more proactive, probing them to be critical thinkers, and moreover, to make them self-dependent to love maths. Let's see the first element, that is asking questions before the lesson. Asking better questions can open new doors for students, helping to promote mathematical thinking and encouraging classroom discourse. Such questions help students work together to make sense of mathematics, rely more on themselves to determine whether something is mathematically correct or not. Rather, we giving our learners direct solutions, we put up questions in front of them in such a way that they enthusiastically solve it and come up with brilliant answers. Also, one thing to mention here is that the expected answers are, I don't know, ma'am, please explain again, let me think, or even any wrong answer, which is very close to the solution. Cause math, there is always mistakes to be celebrated. Now, why we ask questions? To gather information, probing thinking, and to make mathematics visible. Next element is inquiry based. According to Dr. Joe Bowler, math teaching is about developing positive attitudes towards the subject. What is inquiry based learning? These are the abilities of independent and critical thinking, creativity, curiosity, and the drive to learn anywhere at any time. Ultimately, few instructional methods accomplish this quite like inquiry-based learning. So instead of presenting information to students, the teacher allows students to explore materials on their own. Traditional teaching methods are often one way in that teacher relays needed information, students take notes and follow along. With inquiry-based learning, the students learn by doing. Curiosity and exploration often lead to better comprehension and understanding of materials. Inquiry-based learning means offering the tools for measurement, experimentation, and more at the students' disposal at allowing them to discover for themselves how thing works. After that comes various methods. Teachers should be sure to incorporate a strategy into games to help students learn the material. Math skills are an important part of life. To offer students the most help, teachers need to incorporate several strategies to give students the opportunity for future growth. Teachers who have mastered effective approaches and strategies in teaching mathematics can help increase students' mathematical knowledge and improve math outcomes. Ask students to explain their own ideas. Let's suppose if we want to teach division, we will not give directly the children 16 divided by 4 is 4. Rather, we will let them explore the methods because we know in a class there are various types of learners are there. So the method the child is comfortable. Let's suppose if the child wants to give the answer with equal sharing, equal grouping or repeated subtraction, any method is most welcome. Now to conclude next 3 points, I would like to invite my colleague Sujata ma'am to elaborate the remaining. Over to Sujata ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharti ma'am. Jai Hind everyone present here. Moving to the 4th point, convincing and reasoning. Here, the teacher asks students to use Joe Bowler's 3 levels of being convincing. Convince yourself, convince a friend, convince a skeptic. Have students begin with the first level, work up to the final level, adding more detail or explanation as they go along. The child will be able to explain how his or her mathematical argument accurately addresses their claim. The child will be able to apply correct reasoning to make his or her mathematical argument and to provide a mathematical basis for their argument. The next is the point LFHC, low floor, high ceiling. This mathematical activity where everyone in the group can begin and then work on their own level of engagement. But these tasks have lots of possibilities for the participant to do much more challenging math. And moving to the last point, audio visual. Mathematics is a subject that allows for precise thinking, but when that precise thinking is combined with creativity, openness, visualization, and flexibility, the mathematics come alive. And teachers can create such mathematical excitement in classroom with any mathematics question by asking students for the different ways they see and can solve the problems and encouraging discussion of different ways of seeing problems. This visual can even include real life connection with each topic. Here I conclude all the 6 points of Dr. Bowler, and thank you, and over to you, Shravan sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Teaching methods and strategies that involve students' participation and engagement would be more joyful. I now invite Chitra ma'am to take us forward in this direction.
Jai Hind and a very good evening to one and all present here. Let us first see what is active learning. Active learning is an approach to instruction that involves actively engaging students with the course material through discussions, role plays, problem solving, and other methods. Active learning approaches place a greater degree of responsibility on the learner, and it involves student-led learning. The teachers act as facilitators and present the class with the problem. They also provide information that would lead students in their problem solving. Students would then work as a group to brainstorm methods to arrive at a solution. But why teach math this way? Because it enhances the critical thinking of students. The students discuss what they notice, explain their thinking, and are actively involved in finding solutions to the problem. It also builds the math confidence. This method shows the students that they are capable of solving problems on their own or by working together. The math performance also improves because when they see math as a set of ideas they can explore and figure out, they have no reason to fear math and their performance in maths will improve. Now, let me take you all through a few activities that were conducted as a part of active learning. The first activity is based on problem solving. Here, students were presented with a visual arrangement of tables and chairs, and they were told to discuss amongst themselves where their friend Arun should sit to get a bigger share of the cake. They were also told that only one chair is vacant at each table. They were given certain guiding questions to help them in their brainstorming. And they were sent into breakout rooms and given a Jamboard to share their responses. And this is what they came up with. Most of them were able to conclude that Arun would be sitting at the table that had only 3 chairs because there were only 3 people to share the cake with, and he would get a bigger share of the cake. They also further gave explanations for their other questions. The second activity that is based on claim, support, and question. Here again, a problem was put up to the students wherein they had to share 7 apples between 4 of them. They were again asked to discuss with the group students, and they were asked to support their claims with evidences, which you all can see they have done here on Jamboards. They again, then all the students came back to the main meet room and they discussed with each other, and they also questioned each other on the veracity of their claims. In the third activity, that is connect, extend, and challenge. Here, the students were first introduced to the topic of altitudes through interacting with an GeoGebra applet. Then this was then extended there to their knowledge of how the altitudes would look for different kinds of triangles. They were then asked to answer questions that were present in GeoGebra. And where they were confused, I stepped in to help clear their doubts and their other confusing questions. Thank you. I hope this gave you an insight in how active learning could be implemented in your classes. Thank you.
I would like to introduce now Manisha ma'am to show the active learning to learn geometry by the paper folding.
Jai Hind, everyone. I hear, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand. This is also true when it comes to learning and understanding geometry. Learning geometry by paper folding is one such experience. Now let me show you some interesting paper folding activities which will make geometry a fun.
Let us try to learn how to make a triangle out of this paper. This is a paper. I'll fold this paper, one fold it one more time, and then one more time. Just press the folds like this and then unfold it. When you open it, what you will obtain is a triangle that is a polygon with 3 sides. Now, let us take another paper. One fold, second fold, third fold, and then I'll give one more fold here. Open it. When you open it, what you'll obtain is a quadrilateral, a polygon with 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let us take a square paper. Let us fold it this way. 2 equal parts, then 4 equal parts. Now, if we fold it this way, make a triangle here. See the fold again. And now, when you open it, what do you obtain is a rhombus. Same way we can make the other polygons as well. Let us take another paper. And now what I am going to do is I am going to fold it into half. What is this? A straight line, and an angle on a straight line is 180 degree. Let us take a point here. At this point now, I am going to make angle of 60 degree without using a protractor. If you give folds like this and open it, the 3 angles that I'll get are 60, 60, 60. Fold it one more time, and now if I fold it this way and get a triangle here, press it properly and then open it. And when you open it, what do you get is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 six-sided polygon, which is a hexagon. Here you can also make it more interesting. Just fold the hexagon again, and then if you go on folding it like this, and one more fold, and one more fold, and one more fold, and then if you open it, what you get is a web inside. So this way you can also have octagon here. Take a piece of paper, fold it this way, one more fold, and then fold it like this, open it, and what do you obtain is an octagon. The same way we can also have interesting way of understanding how to divide an angle into two equal parts. If you consider this paper, this angle here, this is a line, and angle on a line here, if you take a point here, angle at that point will be 180 degree. And if I divide this into two parts, so here each angle, due to this line, this angle is being divided into two parts, that is 90 and 90. So let's draw this line. Further, if I divide this angle into two parts, so this line is dividing this angle into two parts. So each angle here will be 45 and 45. So we can write it here. This is, each angle is 45 and 45. Further, if I divide this, then each angle will be, what's half of 45? So each angle here will be 22.5. Similarly, this angle is 90. Let us try to divide into three equal parts. So if I take it this way, and if I divide it into three equal parts, open it, and what do I obtain? Each angle here will be 30, 30, 30. Divide this 30 again into two equal parts. We will obtain each angle as 15, 15. So this way we can have the angle bisectors. Now we know that this is a triangle, and we know that these are the interior angles of a triangle. Now what is the sum of interior angles of a triangle? We know that the sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree. So we'll just learn how it is 180 degree with the help of paper folding. So if this is a triangle, if I simply fold this triangle, so we know that these are the interior angles. I just fold this interior angle. So what angle is there here? I have just taken it down here and then fold it this angle, and then fold the other angle. And now what do we see here? These are angles on a straight line which add up to 180 degree. So this way we can prove that sum of interior angles of a triangle is 180 degree.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Learning mathematics becomes more interesting if it is incorporated with mathematical fun, activities, and games. I would like to invite Atmaram sir to enlighten us with recreational mathematics.
Thank you, sir. The basic principle of learning mathematics can be made easier through mathematical fun, activities, and games. So here I'm going to introduce the topic recreational mathematics. Recreational mathematics is an umbrella term referring to mathematical games and mathematical puzzles. Not all the problems in this field require a knowledge of advanced mathematics, and thus recreational mathematics often attracts the curiosity of non-mathematicians and inspires their further study of mathematics. Mathematical games are multiplayer games whose rules, strategies, and outcomes can be studied and explained by mathematics. Mathematical puzzles don't usually involve competition between two or more players. Instead, in order to solve such puzzle, the solver must find a solution that satisfies the given condition. Now let's see some common and famous topics of mathematics. The tangram is a dissection puzzle consisting of 7 flat shapes called tans, which are put together to form shapes. The objective of the puzzle is to form a specific shape using all 7 pieces, which may not overlap. A palindromic number is a symmetrical number like the date 9/10/2019 that remains the same when its digits are reversed. Rubik's Cube. The cube consists of 3 by 3 by 3 smaller cubes, which in configuration are colored so that the 6 faces of the large cube are in 6 distinct colors, the 9 cubes forming one. In Magic School, the sum of all integers is 10. The 24 game is an arithmetical card game in which the objective is to find a way to manipulate 4 integers so that the end result is 24. For example, for the card with numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, a possible solution is 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 24. Now let's see how recreational maths benefit kids. Motivating students, especially younger students, to learn and put math principle into play can prove very difficult. With puzzles or games, students now have a direct reason to want to learn math. The next is self-studying. Once they understand how to do a puzzle such as Sudoku, students do not need to be supervised. They learn as they go. The next is improved scores. Games and puzzles improve students' scores. That's true across all subjects, including math. Students who learn math through games have more success in remembering the lessons taught. They can also learn skills in solving grid puzzles that they will later use in solving math equations. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, sir. The key of teaching math skills that students can apply and remember is to allow them to express their understanding of the topic. Math Talk is an initiative taken in this direction. I would like to invite Sadap ma'am to explain the concept in brief.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind to one and all. Here I am to present before all of you how we are encouraging our students and inculcating the habit of sharing Maths Talk to brief the topic taught in the class. By Maths Talk, we mean sharing, analyzing, and making sense of maths. Students might discuss their strategies for solving a problem, explaining not only what they did, but also the reasoning behind their work. They can also make observations, pose questions, and express uncertainties. So let me share with you the importance of math discourse. Maths Talk provides students an opportunity for deeper understanding through communication. Individually or in groups, students articulate and defend their ideas and analyze the reasoning of others. Talking about maths helps elementary students deepen their understanding. They are processing the maths in a different way. Then, when they work with paper and pencils, manipulatives and drawings, This opportunity to connect math and language benefit all the students and deepen their understanding of maths concept. So finally, to conclude, talk can reveal understanding and misunderstanding, supports robust learning by boosting memory, deeper reasoning, language, as well as social development skills. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I am now inviting Sally, ma'am, to explain how art integration is helpful in learning mathematics joyfully. Sally, ma'am, over to you.
Sir, it's maths installation by Dinanath sir.
Sorry. I will be inviting Dinanath sir to take over and explain what is math installation.
Thank you, sir. The act of installing a math topic with real life example for better understanding of a topic with unique and familiar ideas is the main motive of math installation. It also aims to relate the topic with day-to-day life in an interesting and easier way. Every student comes out with innovative ideas and should relate the learned topic with their surroundings. For example, we can relate fractions with lemons, apples, pizzas, or so on. We cut and understand through the pattern and relate the parts with fractions. We can relate area and perimeter with real life objects such as windows, tabs. Addition and subtraction can be related with the grains, tables, matchsticks, or use of real life things which are available around us in an innovative way. Now, let's see some math installations created by our students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Math installation is really a wonderful exercise where the student reflects their learning and use them in their day-to-day life. I now invite Sally ma'am to explain how art integration is helpful in learning mathematics joyfully. Sally ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Jai Hind to everyone. Maths and art go together like peanut butter and jelly. You just have to know where to look and be a little creative in creating lessons that are meaningful for both content areas. You never want to sacrifice the skills and processes in either area when creating an art integration or STEM lesson. While at first glance, the integration of maths and art would seem like trying to mix oil and water. There are many useful ways to integrate these two subjects. Children can use colors and shapes to enhance their understanding of maths. They can also apply maths theory to pictures and objects. When thinking of maths, not strictly in terms of arithmetic, but also in terms of problem solving, geometry, and visualization, ideas will start to materialize for integrated lesson plans. Here's a list of art projects that make authentic connection to maths ideas and concepts. Dance. Dancers form angles, lines, and simple shapes with their arms and legs, such as circles, triangles, as well as more complex shapes. Dancers use their bodies to create straight and curved lines. Dancers need to focus on the angles to make correct shapes. In order to maximize maximum dance space and make it possible for all dancers to be seen in dance, we use different geometrical formation like parallel lines, circles, and squares. Here, the students are trying to show the integration of Kathak and Bharatanatyam with mathematics, where different angles, shapes, and curved lines can be seen. Fibonacci rhythm. It is not uncommon for musicians to find mathematics appealing, but both disciplines involve precision, organization, and structure. Diverse studies suggest music composers often incorporate the golden proportion in musical composition, perhaps due to its power in constructing well-balanced, beautiful, and dynamic movements. Fibonacci numbers harmonize naturally, and the exponential growth in nature is made present by using Fibonacci node. In the following video, the musicians are trying to collaborate the Fibonacci with mathematics. While we talked about dance and music, arts is not left behind. We can see arts is also getting integrated with maths, wherein two-dimensional figures are used by the students to form different shapes and patterns. Various shapes and patterns are displayed in front of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Mistakes are an integral part of learning mathematics. We learn from our mistakes. We celebrate mistakes but while process of learning. But when it comes to performing, the mistakes are not entertained. So we need to ask the student to handle a few conceptual mistakes carefully. I would now invite Vikas sir to brief us with some common mistakes.
Thank you, sir. As we all know that mathematics has zero tolerance for errors. So during the process of joyful learning, we should take care of removing the common errors. Here are a few examples of common errors which occur during the process of learning mathematics. Incorrect solution of quadratic equation. Let us take one example. Here they cancel x from both the sides. without realizing that x could be 0 also. So we get only one solution. But this is absolutely wrong. This equation has two solutions, either x is equal to 0 or x is equal to 1 by 3. Both the values satisfy the equation, hence both are the solution to get the given quadratic equations. Another mistake. While finding the area of rectangle, students tend to forget to write the units. For example, area of rectangle having length and breadth 6 centimeter and 5 centimeter respectively. Student writes 6 into 5 is equal to 30 centimeters. This is incorrect. Another example, another mistake, students sometimes have the misconception that square root of 4 is equal to plus minus 2. This is not correct. The square root symbol have the misconception root 4 is equal to 2. If we want to minus 2 as the square root, we write minus square root of 4 is equal to minus 2. Another example, for division of a number, students do not place 0. 324 divided by 8, they write 4.5, but this is incorrect. The answer is 40.5. A fixed shape of triangle is engraved in the mind of students. When we draw the shape of this type of triangles, the student feel that it is inverted triangles. And a fraction is not a number, but it is a concept which represents a part of whole. There are few more conceptual errors, but we cannot take up due to time limitation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So here we come to the end of the program. But before we wind up, I would further request Bharti ma'am to show the Padlet and read out few interesting introductions.
Thank you, sir. I'm indeed mesmerized to see such beautiful response. Thank you, everyone, all the participants. So names can also be represented in such a way. Amazing answers. Here I would like to read few of the answers. So here, first of all, we would like to go for Gautam sir. My name is a 6-letter word whose second letter from both ends is an article. First and last letters are 7th and 13th letter of English alphabet. Two middle most letters are U and T. Thank you so much, Gautam sir. And also I would like to respond from Jayashree ma'am. I'm Jayashree. I love to multiply happiness and subtract worries by adding happiness. Wow, that's great. I also want to read something which I also like. I would not like to take the name, but one of teachers, she has written that I'm very fearful of maths, but I'm very sure, ma'am, after all these things, there must not be any fear, but you will definitely love maths. And also there is a beautiful response from Shruti ma'am. My name is Shruti. 2/3 of my letters of my name is consonant. Oh, wow, great. Same way we have many. We have one more, Smita Jain. Yes, beautiful. S means subtract, M multiply, I integers, T total, and A addition. And many of the responses are like we know in maths that always subtract worries, multiply the happiness, add joy, and always divide and share the knowledge you have. Still, there are many more, but thank you so much. Over to Shravan sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you to the teachers. Thanks to the teachers who have participated actively in this exercise. So at the end, I would like to say that the ultimate objective of joyful mathematics is to ensure what child should learn, what child learns, what he should learn, and what he must learn joyfully. Finally, on behalf of Department of Mathematics, I offer my sincere thanks to all the panelists, director sirs, Principal Ma'am Dr. Pushpi Dutt, Principal DPS Nasik, Principal DPS Varanasi, and Principal DPS Lawan Nagpur, and all the viewers. Thank you and thank you everyone.
So should we end this?
Over to Siddharth, sir.
Just a second. Yeah. Thank you. I think that was a great presentation, everybody. My network is a little bad. So that was a great presentation, especially I really enjoyed the geometry, folding, math installations. Although I would have liked some more, activities were done with recreational maths and at other places. But all in all, I think I really enjoyed the presentation. Pushpi ma'am, Anupama ma'am, anything you would like to share?
Well, being from humanities, you all can understand that I would have really been fearful of math. And the reason, with all due respect to my teachers, but still I did not have an excellent math teacher. In fact, I have learned math by observing the teachers in the classes over the years. So today's presentation, I can say it has added my confidence, multiplied my interest, divided my doubts, and subtracted my fears. So thank you, team DPS Nasik, for the wonderful presentation. And I hope you people transect this into your classes so that mathematics becomes a joy of learning for every child. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We definitely will incorporate all this. We are doing all these things. We'll do more.
Congratulations to Team Nasik. Wonderful presentation. I really liked the games. I really liked the paper folding activities and the math installation. And I'm sure all the teachers from Nagpur, Varanasi are also, inspired to take up all these in their classrooms. Thank you so much.
Yeah, there was a very interesting question that Gautam ji had put up. I think if someone can answer that. So Gautam ji had asked if I have a question in my question paper जिसमें कि बच्चा ज्योमेट्री का आंसर फोल्डिंग से करता है, तो क्या मैं उसको मार्क्स दूंगा?
Actually, paper folding activity is to learn the concept. As far as it's is to perform, he has to use all the rules and methods, formula, whatever is there.
Okay.
Activity, paper folding activity is just to learn the concept and to engrave with the concept.
एकदम 2 सवाल एक बाकी सारे टीचर्स के लिए जो दूसरे सब्जेक्ट के हैं, जो आई थिंक a few of them shared, जो बोलर के 6 तरीके थे, उसमें से कौन सा तरीका आपको लगता है आप अपने सब्जेक्ट में भी यूज कर सकते हैं? You can use the chat box maybe to share कि जो मैथ्स में सब लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, जो बोलर के 6 वेज, उसमें से कौन सा तरीका आप अपने सब्जेक्ट में भी यूज कर सकते हैं? साइंस, इंग्लिश, हिंदी, सोशल स्टडीज, क्वेश्चंस बिफोर चैप्टर, एकदम Gautam ji, I think your point of why do we appreciate multiple methods, I think वो easily बच्चों को concept से relate करेगा और समझा पाएगा. I think that's what Shravan sir is trying to share. Yes, anyone else? और क्या visual components, multiple methods to reach a solution? Yes, so absolutely काफी सारे subjects में I would say जो bowler के जो 6 तरीके हैं वो आप use कर सकते हैं अलग अलग aspect में. So I want you to really give a lot of thought to that. To the people who've presented today, can you share with me कि जो math talk है, any instance or any interaction with any students, कि how has that helped? किस तरीके से उसने बच्चों को हेल्प किया है या बच्चों की अंडरस्टैंडिंग को हेल्प किया है या नहीं किया है? Would you like to share? Anyone?
May I, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, I found that when we do this active learning strategies in the class and more of group work actually now.
Ma'am, can you be a little louder? And if we can see you, I think it will be better.
Okay, just a minute, sir. Yeah. Are you able to hear me clear, sir, now?
Yeah.
What I found is when we're doing a lot of group work, sir, the students, okay, as we know, it is improving their, interpersonal skills and everything. And along with that, they are gaining the confidence because now they are not finding out the solution all alone. So, they don't have this fear, like I discussed that, that my answer could be wrong, because they are getting to share with their peers, and then, and then work out the solution together. Then each one is explaining to the other. So I think, somewhere, yes, they are enjoying this method of learning mathematics. And yes, it is also maybe I would say prodding their thinking process. That's what I found.
Math talk से क्या फायदा होता है? That's my question.
Sorry, in Math Talk, they're able to share their whatever they have learned, sir, any concept. Okay, they are sharing, so they're putting it in their own words, whatever they have understood. So, we get to know how much a child has understood.
Also, जब मेरे ख्याल से जब वो सोचते हैं कि मैंने क्या सीखा है, in that process of reflection and thinking, that is when a lot of learning is also happening for them probably. एक और सवाल और कोई anyone would like to add on to this?
May I, sir? I'm Bharti here.
Yes, go ahead, Bharti, ma'am.
As we do in English, like we write a paragraph, whatever we learn. So in the same way, Math Talk is a recapitulation, whatever the child has done. And when the child knows that I have to give a Math Talk, it's not a compulsion, but yes, he pays more attention. And while writing or while sharing the Math Talk, he goes back and he thinks what all he has done, what all he has used, and finally he beautifully frames into a Math Talk. So it's like a relearning for him, what I can say, what I have understood from my little kids. Thank you.
एकदम उसके बारे में जब वो सोच रहा है और उसके बारे में लिखता है तो काफी चीजें उसके he is revising a lot of those concepts. Yes,
Definitely, sir, definitely.
May I?
Yes, sir.
Actually, Math Talk is an exercise where child express his understanding as per his perspective. Sometimes what happens in mathematics, if any concept is built up and child have not understood it properly, directly in the answer sheet he used to bomb it, wrong concepts. So when we start this exercise, Math Talk, child will come up with his understanding. So you can understand that where the child goes wrong. So there, then and there you can correct the child. Then and there you can correct the child.
करेक्ट एकदम काफी बार जब वो सवाल करता है, अगर किसी ने कॉपी कर लिया एक दूसरे से, तो टीचर को समझ में ही नहीं आता है कि भाई कहाँ तक इसको समझ में आया है या कहाँ तक नहीं समझ में आया. एकदम एक और चीज आप लोगों ने शेयर किया. Yes, go ahead. Someone wants to share.
Yeah, so Saidi here.
Yes, go ahead, Saidi.
So, sir, what I found is many a times the way we teach, the same way is reflected by the students. Many a time I tell them that don't keep on going for the Google slides and these presentations. So students are coming up with solving the sums on the board, trying to elaborate some concepts, and they are exactly reflecting the way I teach in the class. So that's a बेस्ट पार्ट कि वो बिल्कुल अपने टीचर को देख रहे कि टीचर कैसे कैसे अलग तरीके से एग्जांपल्स ले रहे. दे आर ट्राइंग टू रिलेट द रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स व्हाइल एक्सप्लेनिंग देयर short video, while explaining the particular concept in that short video. So this is really something beautiful, that they are actually trying to incorporate what teacher is teaching and also the real life application to that particular topic. And that's really
so what is a Math Talk? Is it a video? Is it an article? What is it?
Sir, we have given them freedom to make a small video wherein they are solving it on a white board or a green board, or they are also sharing with a doc file, or also they are giving us the Google slide wherein they are putting their views in that.
Okay, so they can, so Math Talk is basically a way to show what they've understood, either through a video, poster, article, anything.
Yes, sir. So many a times, few of them also make a poster, stick it on the wall, and they are trying to show it. Those who don't have a whiteboard thing of this thing, so they put it on the wall and they try to explain it.
Okay, yeah. Wonderful. Anyone would like to share, कोई एक इंस्टेंस की मैथ इंस्टॉलेशन आपने दिया और बच्चे को समझ में आया, उसके कारण ऐसे नहीं समझ में आया था कोई टॉपिक, एंड ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ द मैथ इंस्टॉलेशन द चाइल्ड वाज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट टॉपिक बेटर.
Sir, again, I would like to speak over here. When I was trying to teach fractions, I took one activity. I told students to get an apple or a tomato, whatever you have. Then I told them कि पहले तो एक tomato लो या फिर apple, whatever you are having, cut it into half. Then next tomato or apple, whatever you are having, cut it into 4 equal parts. And then I told them, chalo add karo. What answer you will get? How will you try to do it? And then to make it a whole, how will you actually do it? So while trying, they got to know ki half and 1 by 4, 1 by 2 and 1 by 4, we cannot directly add 1 plus 1 and 2 plus 4. So there the concept of LCM needs to be incorporated. And we need to learn and understand the LCM. We need to find the LCM. So how to find the LCM? How to make it a whole? And then
साइली,
ऐसा करके वो उन्होंने किया.
अभी तो बच्चे घर पे थे तो आपने उनको बोला टमाटर काटो. जब वो स्कूल आएंगे फिर कैसे करोगे आप?
सर चौक दे देंगे, चौक भी तो है.
आईली तब अपने घर से एक टमाटर और एक एप्पल लाना.
हाँ ये सही है, ये भी कर सकते हैं सर हम लोग. I can show them. Thank you ma'am, thank you.
ठीक है. आत्माराम जी, you wanted to share something.
Sir, same about the fraction. One incident happened in my class. One child has shared one video with me. Then I got it known that she was trying to add directly parts, like she cut an lemon in 8 equal parts and 1 lemon in 4 equal parts. And later on in the addition, she added that parts directly. So on very next day, I asked her that the concept which you shown, how you are adding them. Because one was the 1/8 part and one is the 1/4 part. So they are not like, so how can you add them? So there I explained her the concept, and then the next day she sent me the new video on that.
Okay, wonderful. Chaliye, thank you everybody. I think it was a great session, and I think there'll be a lot of takeaways for everybody from this session, especially the math talk. I think that's a great way to share with if the student shares what he or she has learned, and I'm sure this will also give a lot of other subject teachers a way to use something from the Joe Bowler's 6 ways of teaching. All right, on that note, thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you sir, thank you ma'am.
Thank you sir, thank you ma'am.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone for your encouraging words. Thank you so much.